Hi, I am trying to have a little bit of a Frida Kahlo vibe going on here because we're going to talk about Frida Kahlo today. It's a brilliant book from the exhibition that I went and saw in 2018 actually at the Victoria and Albert Museum, and it was called Making Herself Up. And I think that that's a great title because it really encompassed her style, the way she was, the way that she presented herself, and showed us everything really intimate, all the kind of intimate things, her makeup, her horrible plaster casts that she had when she kept having her multiple operations. I think she had 30 operations after she had the bus accident and was in an awful lot of pain. All her medicine bottles were there, her heavy kind of drugs and that she was taking for her pain. She also had polio when she was a child, so she was considered of her and her sister to be a little sort of a bit of a runt, really, sadly, and she was sort of left on the pile, on the heap of spinsters, I suppose, until she met Diego Rivera, and they married and they had a very tumultuous relationship, and in fact they divorced and then they remarried again. So they married twice, but their relationship was full of affairs, full of misery, as well as the ups. There was a lot of sadness, and they could never have children. Frida Kahlo had several miscarriages, which are depicted in a lot of her paintings. So it's a very sad time, really. But through that came the most incredible collection of work, an amazing body of work. And they lived in a fantastic house. It's got sort of cobalt blue, I think it's called the Azure House. It's in Mexico. It's got sort of cobalt blue walls and it was just full of colour and vibrancy. And I would imagine that they also had a lot of fun times there. Frida started out life as quite a demure young woman, and then she gradually became herself. She grew into herself, and she started to wear clothes that were from the region where she grew up in Mexico. And she loved her sort of indigenous clothes from Mexico and Guatemala, from Oaxaca and from the Yucatan, and lots of her clothes were hand-woven traditional fabrics dyed with plant dyes, and she looked amazing in them, and that was sort of like her
Here you
iconic
see us, me,
look.
Frida Kahlo, with my dearest husband Diego Rivera. I painted these pictures in the delightful city of San Francisco, California, for our companion Mr. Albert Bender, and it was in the month of April of the year 1931. They had a very tumultuous marriage, lots of affairs, and sadly, a series of miscarriages.
I could go on and on and on. There is so much to say and to discover about Frida Kahlo. I think I might do it over the next few weeks actually and just talk about individual paintings because she has a remarkable collection of work, a huge body of work. She only had one main solo show when she was alive, but her work now is being exhibited all over the world and collected by masses of eminent collectors and people, and Madonna has a huge collection. Her work was quite unfashionable for a while, but obviously now it's hugely popular and pretty iconic stuff. So I'm going to read you a poem which I have posted before. It's written by Marty McConnell and it's called Frida Kahlo to Marty McConnell, and it's by Marty McConnell. Leaving is not enough. You must stay gone. Train your heart like a dog. Change the locks even on the house if he's never visited. You lucky, lucky girl. You have an apartment just your size, a bathtub full of tea, a heart the size of Arizona but not nearly so arid. Don't wish away your cracked past, your crooked toes. Your problems are papier-mâché puppets you made or bought because the vendor at the market was so compelling you just had to have them. You had to have him, and you did. And now you pull down the bridge between your houses. You make him call before he visits. You take a lover for granted. You take a lover who looks at you like maybe you're magic. Make the first bottle you consume in this place a relic. Place it on whatever altar you fashion with a knife and 5 cranberries. Don't lose too much weight. Stupid girls are always trying to disappear as revenge. And you're not stupid. You loved a man with more hands than a parade of beggars. And here you stand, heart like a 4-poster bed, heart like a canvas, heart leaking something so strong they can smell it in the street. There we go. Here's to Frida Kahlo. Lots and lots of love. Bye-bye.